It was hard for me being that young and being in the industry and not knowing where to turn, and everyone, telling me they love me and, just turn their back on you in a second.
Starting to act different, huh? You ain't been calling me and hanging out the way we used to hang out.
And he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
Where we hanging out and what we doing, we can't really disclose. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me. And we gonna go buck full crazy.
That's all you care about, money? That's all you care about, guys. It's money. You don't care about people.
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy.
You're scrolling through your feed when a silent, grainy overhead clip stops you cold. Justin Bieber, alone in a near-empty room, casually chewing a slice of pizza. At first, it looks like nothing, just another random post from a superstar who shares everything. But eagle-eyed fans know that surveillance-style angle all too well. It mirrors the cameras Sean Diddy Combs allegedly used to record his infamous after-hour freak-offs. Within minutes, comment sections ignite. Is this Bieber's cryptic way of saying he's finally ready to talk? For more than a decade, whispers about Diddy's secret life floated around the industry. Strange sleepovers, blackmail tapes, a revolving door of high-profile guests who left red-eyed and silent. Now lawsuits stack up, long-buried clips resurface, and that single slice of pepperoni feels like an alarm bell. Word is Bieber has a list, an A-list of rappers and singers who shared Diddy's inner circle from Usher to Meek Mill. If the rumors are true, he's about to pull the curtain back on stories that could rewrite hip-hop history and finally explain why a teenage megastar spiraled so hard, so fast. Stay with me and remember to subscribe because the pizza isn't the meal, it's merely the appetizer. What comes next could torch reputations from Miami to Hollywood. By February 26th, 2024, the rumors finally hit a federal docket. Rodney Lil Rod Jones, a longtime producer in Diddy's orbit, filed a 73-page trafficking and racketeering complaint that stunned the industry. The real shocker, though, sat buried in a tiny footnote. It described a Philadelphia rapper who once dated Nicki Minaj and an R&B singer who headlined the Super Bowl during his Las Vegas residency. Fans didn't need the names spelled out. Meek Mill and Usher fit the clues too perfectly, and social media lit up within hours. That disclosure landed on top of a mountain of fresh litigation, 5 civil suits by early 2024 and counting, and a criminal indictment that now has Diddy facing life if the jury agrees with federal prosecutors' sex trafficking narrative. Within weeks, Homeland Security agents raided his Miami mansion, seizing hard drives and surveillance footage said to feature the same ceiling-mounted camera angles the internet later noticed in Justin Bieber's pizza video. Suddenly, late-night anecdotes about freak-off parties weren't just gossip, they were potential exhibits. Bloggers pored over the Jones filing line by line, cross-matching every redaction with celebrity timelines, while mainstream outlets treated the footnote like a breadcrumb trail to a much bigger story. And every time a new outlet confirmed another lawsuit, the pressure on anyone who'd been inside those rooms, especially the kids Diddy mentored, ratcheted up another notch. But long before attorneys started redlining names, one of those proteges had already seen the chaos up close and personal. He was 13, bright-eyed and staying in Diddy's townhouse. Imagine being barely a teenager, shipped off to New York with the promise of music boot camp, only to discover the so-called classroom is a midtown penthouse where the parties never stop. That was Usher in 1994. L.A. Reid placed his 13-year-old protege under Sean Diddy Combs' guardianship, a crash course insiders nicknamed Flavor Camp. Years later, Usher told Rolling Stone that Diddy didn't just teach him how to sing. He introduced me to a totally different set of sex specifically, adding that the atmosphere was pretty crazy for someone who still had homework due back in Chattanooga. The experience only grew wilder. In a 2016 sit-down on The Howard Stern Show, Usher laughed nervously about very curious things taking place after midnight and said there's no way in hell he'd ever send his own kids to a puffy camp. Looking back, those confessions feel less like rock and roll lore and more like early warning flares. A child star thrust into adult decadence, learning quickly that survival meant silence. Transition. And silence is exactly what another teenage prodigy, this one from Stratford, Ontario, tried to keep until a 48-hour mentorship with Diddy changed everything. November 2009. Still baby-faced at 15, Justin Bieber lands in New York for what Diddy bills as the best 48 hours of your life. A handheld vlog captures the moment. Bieber teasing, "Let's get some girls," and Diddy grinning like a proud big brother. On screen, it plays as harmless braggadocio. Off camera, insiders say the lesson plan was pure sensory overload. Justin was whisked from studio to penthouse to backroom lounges, plunged straight into the after-hours ecosystem Usher had tiptoed through years earlier. No chaperone, no bedtime, no filter. Just a teenage rookie marinating in champagne fog and thumping bass. The next year, Diddy uploaded a second clip, coaching Bieber on a swag walk, joking that his young friend had stopped answering calls. What viewers missed were the whispers circulating among team members, late-night showcases Bieber supposedly wasn't allowed to unsee, the sudden mood swings when he flew home to LA, the way a kid who'd once busked outside Avon Theater now recoiled from flashing lights and paparazzi shouts. Critics chalked his 2013-15 spiral up to spoiled stardom, DUIs, street racing, public meltdowns, but Bieber's recent hints paint a darker picture. The rebellion he suggests was trauma wearing a designer hoodie. Today, that grainy pizza surveillance post feels less like a meme and more like a coded confession. I watched those tapes and I know who else was in the room. Because Justin wasn't alone during those formative crash courses, he kept bumping into seasoned artists walking the same tightrope of silence. One of them, a Philly firebrand with a penchant for blunt tweets, would soon be forced to address rumors head-on. The moment Rodney Lil Rod Jones's lawsuit hinted that a Philadelphia rapper who once dated Nicki Minaj had bragged about ties to Diddy, all eyes swung to Meek Mill. Within hours, Meek blasted out a furious thread on X. No man or whatever would ever approach me about that kind of activity. The whole place would get flipped. He then sweetened the threat with cash, pledging $100,000 for an investigative team to trace who's powering this smear against his name. Instead of cooling speculation, the bounty poured fuel on it. Bloggers screenshotted his every post. Comment sections joked that only guilty hearts write 6 tweet denials before breakfast. Even Diddy's own son noticed the distance. When a street camera clip caught Meek barking "No Diddy Gang" in Manhattan, Justin Combs fired back online, accusing Meek of abandoning the family that once boosted his career. Publicly, Meek doubled down, reminding followers that his history with Diddy was strictly business, studio collabs, 2014 Grammy party, and that any bedroom talk was blog fiction. Privately, insiders say the Philly MC has gone dark, scrubbing old party photos and limiting appearances to studio sessions only. Whether his loud denials are bravado, self-protection, or both, they underscore one thing. The Jones footnote turned casual rumors into potential court evidence, and Meek is desperate to prove he was never in those rooms. Yet for every artist sprinting from the spotlight, there are others who quietly slipped out the back door. Before dawn, before cameras, before the real chaos began. Long before lawsuits spelled out the word freak off, veteran rappers and reality stars were dropping breadcrumbs about nights that spun way past wild. Fabulous's bathroom escape. In 2021, the Brooklyn MC confessed on Instagram that he once pulled an Irish exit from a Diddy house party. The peer pressure to hit the after was heavy, Fab joked. So he told Puff he was heading to the restroom, then bolted at 7 a.m. while the mogul was still turned up. Khloe's butt-naked reveal. A resurfaced 2014 Keeping Up with the Kardashians clip shows Khloe Kardashian whispering that everybody was butt-naked at one of Diddy's gatherings. The scene has gone viral again in light of the trafficking probe, with Page Six noting that Justin Bieber and French Montana were also on the guest list that night. Uncle Luke's hard pass, Miami legend. Uncle Luke told the We in Miami podcast he never lingered long at Puff's events. I dip early. I know my place. He even declined a private jet invite to appear in the Pop That video, saying, "All money ain't good money." 3 separate voices, same uneasy theme. Industry vets choosing safety over whatever waited after the second bottle service. If grown men with platinum plaques felt the need to ghost, imagine what those scenes did to a pair of teen prodigies named Usher and Justin. Yet wild parties alone don't topple an empire. Money does. For years, Diddy's celebrity aura survived every whisper, every blind item, because the money kept flowing. But in June 2023, the first pillar cracked. Drinks giant Diageo abruptly terminated its 15-year liquor alliance, accusing Combs of sinking barely $1,000 into their De Leon tequila venture while pocketing nearly $1 billion in profits. Diageo's court filing called him an unreliable partner who tried to extort more cash by hurling racism claims. The split didn't just kill a revenue stream, it stripped away corporate camouflage. Investors started asking what other books might be cooked, and brands skittish about reputational blowback discreetly backed away from endorsement talks. Within 9 months, Combs' net worth estimates plunged by hundreds of millions, according to entertainment finance trackers. Then came the sirens. March 25th, 2024, Homeland Security investigations raided Diddy's mansions in Los Angeles and Miami, carting off hard drives, surveillance servers, even designer duffel bags stuffed with pills and AR-15 parts. Court testimony later revealed the Miami bedroom closet held lingerie, ketamine, and white powder residue. Evidence prosecutors say underpins a sweeping racketeering indictment unsealed 3 months ago. Overnight, the mogul who once styled himself Black Gatsby looked less like a tastemaker and more like a liability. Ad agencies yanked Ciroc billboards. Streaming platforms froze documentaries. Even Revolt, his own media network, quietly scrubbed website banners featuring his image, choosing generic hip-hop montages instead. Money was supposed to be Diddy's bulletproof vest. Instead, the collapsed Diageo deal and the federal raids turned it into a neon bullseye. And with financial armor shredded, the voices he once groomed in silence, Usher, Bieber, and the rest, are suddenly impossible to ignore. Now that the empire's walls are wobbling, Bieber's alleged list looks less like gossip and more like dynamite. Justin Bieber's pizza clip wasn't a one-off wink. It was the opening tap in a chain reaction. Almost immediately, entertainment lawyers whispered that federal prosecutors might subpoena him as a material witness, especially after outlets reported Bieber had no plans to play victim, but is willing to help real victims get justice. Behind the scenes, Bieber's reps have reportedly cataloged texts, hotel keycard logs, and even Wi-Fi metadata, showing exactly which artists were present at Diddy-hosted after hours, the same data Homeland Security agents hauled out of those March 2024 mansion raids. Sensing the temperature spike, other alumni of Diddy's circle have begun scrubbing their footprints. Usher's X-Feed, once a decade-long scrapbook, vanished overnight in September 2024, with the singer blaming a hack. Fans connected the timing to fresh FBI probes into Diddy's finances and trafficking allegations. Industry insiders say at least 2 more R&B chart toppers quietly hired crisis management teams this spring, bracing for subpoena waves that could force NDAs into the shredder. Meanwhile, documentary producers are circling like sharks. 2 major streamers have reportedly opened bidding wars for a multi-part exposé built around Bieber's rumored list and the Homeland Security evidence log. Execs believe the public appetite is Tiger King big, especially now that viewers have seen high-profile denials melt into courtroom testimonies week after week. One thing is clear, with each raid, wiped feed, or frantic tweet, the spell of silence that once protected Diddy's empire loses another brick. And if Bieber releases even a fraction of the receipts insiders claim he's holding, the collapse could spread far beyond hip-hop, straight into boardrooms, brand deals, and red carpet power networks that bet on Puff's invincibility. All that remains is the spark, Bieber's full disclosure. One silent bite of pizza set off a tremor that's still rippling through music's most powerful circles. Justin Bieber's cryptic post cracked open memories the industry spent decades glossing over. Usher's Flavor Camp, Meek Mill's furious denials, Fab's 7 a.m. dash, Uncle Luke's hard pass, a billion-dollar liquor deal gone sour, and midnight raids that pried open vaults of surveillance drives. Now managers are purging timelines, crisis teams are on retainer, and federal subpoenas hover like thunderclouds. Whether Bieber drops his full receipts tomorrow or lets prosecutors do the unmasking, one truth already feels undeniable. The myth of untouchability around Sean Diddy Combs has shattered. Every redacted footnote, every wiped feed, every nervous live stream is a falling domino. The only question is how far the chain reaction travels and whose legacy it will flatten on the way down. So, what do you think? Was that pizza clip a warning shot or the starter pistol for an industry-wide reckoning? Hit the comments, share your theories, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. We're following every twist, every court date, every leaked receipt. Because if Bieber's list is real, the next name revealed could rewrite hip-hop history before the week is out.